Hi, this is John Bon Jovial, and you're listening to the David Bowers Awards. If you keep listening, we guarantee you that you'll lose 30 points off your IQ, but you'll feel better for it.
Now, I bet if I played that for you and told you that these guys, without all the story we already gave you, if I just said, hey, these are three teenagers from Texas, they're sophomores in high school, you never would have expected that professional of a sound. Good sound. They've got kind of a... I don't know. It's kind of a cross, a little garage band, a little punk rock, and very well done, don't you think, John?
Oh, I like the way that they use their. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they sound good. It's a cross between like garage band sound and maybe something a little punkish like the Clash. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to talking to them next week.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Our next guest is coming up right now is coming to us from the UK. We have another UK. We're going to have to open an office in London or something because we've had several good artists from the UK, and Daniel Trigger is no exception to that. He's an experienced hard rock artist from Midlands, UK, and I'm sure we can get him to tell us where that is because I'm not familiar with that area at all, but you would almost assume it was in the middle of the UK somewhere, but who knows? But he writes his own music and combines what they call crushing, downturned guitar riffs. You're going to love this one, John, with melodic anthemic choruses. And I love anthemic choruses. So we're looking forward to it, and we're going to listen to a track right now. Then we'll get to talk to Mr. Daniel Trigger. Here is Rock and Roll Party.
Turn out the lights, lock all the doors, keep the world outside. Only one thing that makes me feel alright. Gonna have a rock and roll party tonight. I said yeah. Ooh, waking up tired, sick of my life. Rock and roll party tonight. I say spending my days down on my knees, spending every night trying to break free, beating on doors, hitting the floor, waiting for the day. Pressures of the world keep raining down on me. Oh yeah, but I don't wanna fit in. I don't care if I'm wrong. All I wanna do is live while I'm still living. Turn on the music and turn out the lights. Lock all the doors, keep the world outside. Only one thing that makes me feel alright. Gonna have a rock and roll party tonight. I said yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be rocking and rolling here tonight, today, or whatever time of day it is when you're listening to this, with a guy named Daniel Trigger, and we're going to talk to the man right now. So come on in here, Daniel Trigger, and say hello.
Hi, good evening. Are you okay?
Hey, we're doing fine. How are you doing over there?
Fantastically well, thank you. And thank you very much for inviting me on the show this evening as well. Thank you very much indeed.
And our pleasure to have you here joining with us and getting to know your hopefully your new American listeners. Is this the first time you've played directly to an American audience?
Truthfully, I have. I've had the privilege of being interviewed by a couple of American DJs before, but it's always a pleasure to address the American people, because that's where my main influence comes from, is the rock music from America, because I grew up in the 1980s, so bands such as Bon Jovi and Skid Row and all that kind of genre of bands. That's exactly what influenced me to start playing music in the first place. So it's always a great honour to talk to the people who originated that sound, really.
Well, it's great to have you here with us, and you've got a great sound. And I think from what you were just saying, you probably caught the bit we were talking about before you came on, about the 3 high school kids out of Texas that get to open for Bon Jovi.
Absolutely, I did. I heard a portion of their song, and it sounded superb. So all the very best to those guys. But I am also just a little bit jealous as well, I have to say.
Well, hey, listen, we'll do our very best.
We all are.
We'll do our very best to see if we can't get you an opening gig also. But yeah, we do salute those great kids, and they'll be joining us next week. But we have you here with us now, and we're glad for that. That's one heck of a rocking song. I can see where you not only are influenced by, but can reach out to an American audience with your music, because you've got a good sound to do just that. Now, first off, tell us where Midlands, UK is.
Midlands, UK is, as the name would kind of suggest, it's right in the centre of England. So if you imagine where London is, that's kind of towards the east of our country. If you drive for about 2 hours towards the west, you arrive in the middle of England. And our second biggest city is called Birmingham. And If you drive half an hour south of Birmingham, you get to a tiny little town that's not on all of the maps yet, because it's that small, and that town's called Bromsgrove, and that's where I'm calling from now.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, listen, I was right for once. I said Midlands, UK, you would think was somewhere near the central part, so I wasn't too far off. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. Now, how did you get... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think your UK geography is probably better than my American geography. So well done.
Well, I would like to take the credit for that. Thank you very much, but it was just a guess. We go with our gut instinct sometime. Now, you mentioned you grew up in the 80s listening to American music. What influenced you really to get into music, specifically rock music?
Well, I didn't grow up in a household where rock music was a feature. As I say, I love my mum and dad dearly, but they're not rockers per se. I mean, my mum listened to Elvis in the early days, and my dad likes John Denver. So rock music didn't really happen in my household. But then I hooked up with some older boys from school, and we went out in their car. And I was crushed into the back seat of their car, and then blaring out of these tiny speakers about an inch from my ears came Bon Jovi's New Jersey album, and it was ear splitting. And I thought, what is this sound? I've got to make music that sounds like this for the rest of my life. So it was kind of that, really. So Bon Jovi is one of my favourite bands. Skid Row also, Guns N' Roses are also excellent. Alice Cooper, a huge influence. But I really do feel that American rock is the ultimate kind of music that you can get. Especially those big stadium bands that were at their peak back in the 80s. That's really where my heart lies most of all, I would say.
Well, it definitely shows through. I know myself, I was able to pick up on the Bon Jovi influence. I would say, not knowing you, and this only being the first time that I've really listened to your music. I mean, I did hear your new release, which I got here, I don't know, a week or two ago. We'll be playing in a little bit. But I did catch the anthemic feel of your music, and I can see the Bon Jovi influence in there. So without further ado, let's turn this over to our tie-in to John Bon Jovi, our co-host and partner in crime here, John Bon Jovial. You have something to toss in.
Yes, I'm a legend in my own mind. Daniel. I want to touch a little bit on Rock and Roll Party. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to that, and this is the second time that I've heard the tune. And whenever I examine any artist's music that I've never heard before, and I will include you in that, I try to think to myself, all right, who is influencing whom here? And so I'm the Bon Jovi thing is that was a little on the apparent side of life to me, but I'm also hearing. And now this is going to sound like a very strange blending.
You're a very strange man.
Yes, I am. I'm hearing some I don't know, influences from Elton John, Benny and the Jets, and I'm also hearing some influence out of from a band like Grand Funk. We're an American band. In addition to the Bon Jovi influence, and am I just way out there and being absurd, or am I close?
No, not absurd at all. I say Elton John is certainly an artist I've got the utmost respect for, particularly the kind of piano rock and roll thing that he's got going on there is certainly also very close to my heart as well. So you would certainly be right, as I say. Aside from my 80s rock influences, also bands from that originated in the 70s as well. Also, top of my head, Queen is a big influence of mine, and obviously Freddie Mercury was a very talented pianist as well. So old school rock and roll, going back to the 70s as well as the 80s, you would absolutely be exactly right. That's my staple diet every day in terms of music, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm listening to this and I'm just, I don't know, I surprised myself with thinking, well, okay, you've got Bon Jovi, then you got a little bit of Elton John, then you got some Grand Funk Railroad in there, and I'm thinking to myself, what a weird assemblage of influences. However, it works, and I guess that's the bottom line. It works. Yes. You did a nice job on that. You really did.
It's like
thank you very much. Yeah.
It's like a good dish. A chef makes a good dish. He may make an